So today we are going to create a self-portrait. And the first thing we need to do is take a picture of ourselves. So if you go up to the camera and you touch the camera, and then here is I guess it's the turnaround. It turns the camera around to face you. And so once you line up your picture with your face, you're going to hit the white button. And what that will do is that will send your picture to your photo areas. So go ahead and do that first. And then you're going to open up Procreate. And we're going to start with a screen size canvas. And we want to go ahead and name it. So it's opened up. So go back to Gallery and tap on it. And we're just going to call it Self-Portrait. Okay. So we're going to open up layers and we're going to insert the picture of that we just took of ourselves. So you go up to the wrench and you want to go to add and you want to insert a photo because that's going to pull it from the photo area on the iPad. If you insert a file, that's going to want to pull up your Google Drive. So we want to do insert a photo. And I'm going to touch my photo and I'm going to stretch it out. First, I need to shrink this a little bit. So I'm going to stretch it out as big as my canvas space here. There we go. Okay, and then tap that to unselect. And I'm going to create a layer on top of this layer. Now for me, it's easier to draw when I have turned down the opacity a little bit. So I turn that down so that my drawing is actually darker than the actual picture behind it, so that I can tell where I've actually drawn. I'm also going to change my color to black. And then my brush is going to be our favorite one that we use all the time. And let me see. Oh, there it is. Calligraphy Monoline. And I'm going to make sure that it is probably a size 5% would be a good size. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to trace everything. So I'm going to start here with my head. And I notice that my color is light here. That's because my opacity is turned down. So I'm going to undo and turn my opacity is turned up. So let me see what's going on here. And maybe I don't have it black enough. Let me try that. Okay. Oh, guess what? I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. So go to layer 2 and start to draw. There we go. Now it's black. Okay, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to draw down. Now I'm going to continue drawing, but I'm going to pause the video. But what I want you to make sure that you do is when you do your hair, you want to do it in sections. Like this. You don't want it to be one solid chunk. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to flip it here. And then I'm going to come here and go down, skip over the ear, and I'm going to just continue down and add the different pieces of the hair. I might divide that up. And so anyway, I'm going to go in and I'm going to draw everything, including my glasses. I'm even going to include the lines of the mask. So I'm going to go in and do everything, and I will be right back. you go ahead and you draw the outline of your face as well. Okay, so now I have finished drawing, outlining everything on my face. And I'm going to go to the layers, and now I'm going to turn off my picture layer. So turn that off. So now I have a nice drawing. And I want to now go in and clean up with the eraser. You see those little lines that are coming into my forehead, and fix some lines and stuff there. So I'm going to use the eraser. And if I hold it, it will go to the brush that I was using previously. And I'm just going to go in and touch up those areas. I also noticed right here I didn't touch the line right there, so I'm going to go back to my pencil and fix that. I also didn't touch it here, so I'm going to fix that. So this is a good time to catch yourself where there's lines that are not touching. You can go in and fix it really quick while you're doing your erasing. And if you need to make your screen bigger, you can do that as well. So make it bigger and then go in and just clean up areas that are not working, that are not touching. Like my eye here, it's not touching there or there. So that's going to have that'll cause a problem for us when we go to fill in if we have lines that are not touching. That looks good. I'll slide over here. I see I missed a spot here. In fact, I didn't draw that whole part of that glasses on the edge here. Okay, and then I need to touch up here and here. That's fine. Touch up here. Okay, this here is not touching. So need to clean that up. Because you don't want to get to the color phase of dropping color and realize something's messed up. And then you have to stop what you're doing and go in and fix it. So it's best to go ahead and take the minute or two to clean up your areas and I'm not worried about these lines because they're part of the design of my shirt. So right here, my hair is not touching my face. Okay, and that's part of the design of the shirt, so that's fine. Okay, so once you have gotten here where you've cleaned it up and you've added lines touching where they weren't touching before, now it's a good time to go in and start to color drop into your picture. But the first thing we have to do is we have to turn this to the reference layer and then add a layer for each color that you choose. So even if you're using two different color browns like I'm going to use for my hair, I'm going to have two different layers for those colors. So saying that, I'll come in and I'll choose brown, and brown is usually in the orange. Is a good place to find the brown. And I'm going to use a somewhat dark brown, and I'm going to go in and drop the color on every other area here. And that's going to be one layer. Oops, undo. Okay. And then I'm going to add another layer. And I'm going to darken that brown to make it a lot darker. so that you should tell a difference between the two. And come over here. And I see a piece of hair here and a piece of hair here. So I need to go back to my other layer and choose that medium brown and fill in the hair there. So I'm going to go through and add all of my color to my picture here. So my skin tone, my eyes, everything, my mask, my clothes, everything, I'm going to add the color to. So you're going to stop watching the video. You can pause it right now, and then you can add all of your color drop all of your colors to your picture. Okay, so I've added the color to my picture. So the one thing I wanted to show you is that if I turn off the background, notice my eyes turn black. And as artists, a lot of times we forget to drop that white to the eyes because the background's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to white, okay, and then I'm going to drag it to my eyes. And I'm going to make this really big so that I can see that. All right, and now if I go to my background and I turn it off, you can see that my whites on my eyes stay. So for our background color, you're going to pick a color of your choosing, something that you think would look good. I think I'm going to go with a pink background. Yep, I like that. And then I'm done with this. Okay, so now we're just going to leave this as a Procreate. So you probably want to save it to your Google Drive as a Procreate item. And then our next step will be to go in and add shading and animated speech bubble, but that's not what we're going to do today. So you should be, by the end of class today, you should be finished with adding your base color.